I was waiting to record the video because, like million of Juventini, I really wanted to know what was said in the meeting of today between John Elkann, owner of Exor, and by consequence Juventus, and CEO Maurizio Scanavino, but also to understand who else would have been invited to that meeting. Do we have a lot of updates? I have one big update. First of all, that the meeting didn't start yet. It will be planned later this afternoon. So it could be that later today we will come up with a second video. The second thing is that John Elkann, according to some rumors, is quite determined, is quite assertive. He's not that happy about the situation of Juventus. He wants answers. He wants to understand. It will be spring for Juventus. Today is the 21st of March. It's the spring day, planet Earth, but it will probably also be spring for Juventus, with building the future Juve, the future that can start today, that can start tomorrow, that will probably also start on 25, 26. Do we have a clear vision, clear ideas? No. But that's why I'm really curious to understand what plan will be presented to John Elkann, and especially what plan he will accept. We'll speak about all of that, but also about Mancini, about Tudor, about the new entry, and other coaches. So pay attention. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. First of all, before entering the big topic of today, and today will be only one big topic, I can tell you that if you want to step away from Juventus season 24-25, but you want to go back to that nostalgia to tomorrow, I have the honor at 4:50 p.m. starting time on Juventus YouTube channel to comment a watch along. I will also show the game, so watching the game together, showing the game on the Juventus YouTube channel. I will be able to comment it with 5-a-side football, Infinity League organized by DAZN. Juventus is participating for the first time. There will be other teams like Bayern, Dortmund, and Inter. I can't wait. I can't wait because it's always a beautiful nostalgia. I can already reveal you the players that will be there for the men team of Juve. Barzagli, Marchisio, Matri, Pepe, Trezeguet, some other influencers, a coach that is Gianluca Pessotto. We have a head of delegation, Giorgio Chiellini. I can't wait. But also, one half will be played by the men, one half will be played by the women. And that's also extremely interesting. For the women, we have the coach that is Lisa Boatin. So I really can't wait. Tomorrow, be there, support me. It will be in English, also important to note. So be there because it will be fun. But let's go back to reality, to actuality, to the Juve of today, to the Juve of possibly tomorrow. Look at that. Corriere dello Sport, Gazzetta dello Sport, and Tutto Sport, they are all going towards the same thing. And you know it. There is one rule, if you're speaking about media, is that if the 3 pages, they are all going towards the same, it means that they all have the same sources, or that all the different sources that they have, they all go towards the same result. And what they are telling us, that there are 2 huge big candidates for as soon as possible, Tudor and Mancini, but only after the game of Genoa. That's why I am not expecting that today in the meeting between John Elkann, Scanavino, and maybe Giuntoli, maybe some other people, not Thiago Motta, not Capitano Locatelli, they have not been invited now. Thiago Motta, he gave 3 off days to all the team, the people that are remaining, because all the other ones are with the national break, they are with their national team. Well, the other people that were there, other players that are there, they all have 3 days off. Some people will say it's correct, let them go home. At the moment, there are still not a lot of players there, so what do you want to work on? Other people are extremely angry because they are saying, oh, in the moment that we are in, they need to work, they need to double the work, triple the work instead of going home. Well, I can tell you that according to the rumors, Thiago Motta is not even in Torino at the moment. So I'm not expecting that today there will be an announcement by Juve, because in front of microphones after Fiorentina, Cristiano Giuntoli, he went really straight. We continue with Thiago Motta. He didn't say until when. We confirmed Thiago Motta after the game of Fiorentina. I think that really, if he wanted to stop, he would probably not have spoken. He would not have spoken. They would have come back in Torino. They would have gone in La Continasa to do a meeting, and probably they're taking a decision if they really wanted to stop immediately with Thiago Motta. I want to come back on Thiago Motta later. But when we are reading the pages, the 3 pages, Juve, Mancio or Tudor, Juventus, Mancini or Tudor is the title of Corriere dello Sport. Gazzetta, Mancini or Tudor if Motta has said goodbye to, if he will miss if we will flop the game of Genoa, and then you see even more clear Juve ready for everything on the page of Tuttosport with 3 names, the one of Mancini, the one of Tudor, and they are even giving us a new entry that is Domenico Tedesco. I will speak about Domenico Tedesco in a second. So what do we understand here? There are 3 pages that are saying us Motta is confirmed until the game of Genoa. If he flops, the alternative is already ready. An alternative that will probably be spoken about in the meeting of today. So not a decision about, okay, we say goodbye to Motta now. Today we announce it and we announce also the new coach. But in case he flops after Genoa, we already have the day after we have the new coach. And probably after the game of Genoa that we play in our home, because we play in the Allianz Stadium, probably it will be go really fast now with Giuntoli or someone that will go in front of microphone saying it's over the journey of Motta. That's what the paper are telling us. Now we see 3 names. The one of Mancini, if you are reading Tuttosport, if you are listening to Ilario from Radio Kiss Kiss, looks like Mancini is the closest one. Mancini is the closest one. Mancini, apparently, according to some rumors, there have been calls. They already met twice this week to have Mancini on the bench of Juve. What is the solution Mancini telling us? That Mancini is not a simple caretaker. It would not come for 9 games only, not even 9 games plus the Club World Cup. It's a coach that said, yeah, okay, I have no problem with it. I want to join Juve. Why not? But if I join Juve, it's for 2.5 years minimum in terms of contract. That means that I do what I can this season. I go with the Club World Cup. And we start already working today for the Juve of 25, for the Juve of 26. That's the plan of Mancini. And apparently it's more sources from the side of Giuntoli that are telling us that there is nearly an agreement on that. That doesn't mean that the decision has been made. That doesn't mean that John Elkann already said yes. Probably today, if Giuntoli says Mancini is the man that we can go for after the game of Genoa, if it's not working because Genoa we win, it will be after Roma, it will be after the game after, it will be after the game after, but as soon as we are not going with the 3 points, Mancini is ready, and the contract is ready. The remaining parts of this season plus 2 years. That's Mancini. They're already starting to speak about the possible way of playing with Mancini. A 4-3-3 is what Il Bianconero is telling us. I will not go too much into the formations today because that would be totally crazy. But to tell you, when journalists, when media is already telling you about formation, you know that it's really going close. Then, do we want Mancini? Do we not want Mancini? I read a lot of your comments and you know that I care a lot about what you are feeling. Probably a bit more vintage fans, the bit more older fan, the one with more memory, the more informed fans, they say no, we don't want Mancini. He's the one that didn't win the Scudetto in 2006, but when it was handed over to Inter, well, he celebrated as crazy. He went in front of microphones confirming that title that he didn't win, well, it was his title, that he really deserved, that he really won it. And Juventus at the moment, or Juventini at the moment, they don't want that. They don't want, after a lot of problems with Thiago Motta, that certain fans are saying is an Inter loyal fan, is representing more Inter than Juve. Well, going with Mancini would be a really crazy own goal from Juve. It would not be a popular choice. Will not be one that he comes and everything is crazy, is beautiful. It's not a name like Zidane, for example, or even Antonio Conte, where a lot of Juventini would say, bah, you know, I didn't want Conte back, but maybe he's the only solution. At the end, he's a Juventini, always showed it. He's not jumping when they are telling him to jump with chi non salta Juventino. It's a coach that is a winner. It's the coach that was our captain. Mancini is something totally diverse. On the other side, some people are saying, hey, he's the one because he has experience, even if they probably omit the fact that he's not in big football since 7 years now. Let's not forget about that. And that's also one of the questions, the doubts of Juve at the moment on Mancini. Tudor could be another solution and a total diverse solution of the one of Mancini. So I told you Mancini would be a coach after Genoa, after Roma, after contract is ready for the remaining part plus 2 years already. So it's not a caretaker. While for Igor Tudor, it would be the solution for a boost. Not changing, I don't know what, but especially having an impact immediately in terms of boost and motivation of the team. That pride, the fact that honoring the shirt, we know Vital Tudor is the one with Grinta that we lost a lot, and they are thinking about him for 9 games. If it goes well, you receive that package of Club World Cup. And then we see there is absolutely no promise with Igor Tudor. He's not that keen to accept it. Not about the World Cup or the 9 games, but more about and what after. Because if I succeed in qualifying Juve to the top 4, and I do something beautiful at the Club World Cup, well, great, fantastic, I have a beautiful name, Tudor was the one, the savior, blah, 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 blah. But what if I don't succeed? Because I don't have a lot of time to succeed, especially because I am a coach that is asking a lot in terms of intensity. I don't even know if the players are able to run for 90 minutes. How will Juve defend me if I don't succeed in it? And that would be also for him not a beautiful thing to put on his curriculum that we know a lot of time ended with the clubs in not a beautiful way. So Tudor is thinking about it, but not keen to accept only 9 games plus World Cup, which Juventus is at the moment offering for Tudor. So they don't see the Croatian coach or the Croatian ex-Juve player as a real long-term plan. On the other side, there is another name that popped up this morning, is the one of Domenico Tedesco. And a lot of people will say, Beppe, who is Domenico Tedesco? We heard about him, but we don't really know him. Well, Domenico Tedesco is a 39 years old coach that at the moment is not coaching. He has no club after finishing his journey with the Belgium national team. It's actually an Italian, Domenico Tedesco. Tedesco means German in Italian, which is really strange, but Domenico Tedesco is Italian, has born in Italy, and then he moved and he went to Germany, where he did a lot. Starting in 13-14 as an assistant coach from Stuttgart, was promoted as manager when he was extremely young. Hoffenheim, Schalke 04, then he went to Spartak Moscow before coming back to Bundesliga, coaching Leipzig. It's a coach, that did some beautiful things and has always been promoted, an ambitious one with ideas. Even if on the ID he is Italian, he's a coach that can nearly be considered like a non-Italian coach, or for the people that say we want foreign coach as well. Domenico Tedesco is the one that is the closest to be a foreign coach. And that would mean that Juventus, they still go with that idea of continuing the project. Do you remember Giuntoli's word that said after Atalanta, not Fiorentina, we really believe in that project. It's a project we believe in, that project we want to continue with. He never said with Thiago Motta. With Thiago Motta, he said it after Fiorentina, so after the second game. The first game, he didn't say it. So if Giuntoli really wants to continue with that project of youth, of playing football, changing that DNA, Domenico Tedesco could be that coach. On the other side, I know a bit more about Domenico Tedesco. Didn't do well with Belgium, but what is extremely worrying me in the name of Domenico is that he's a young coach that, yes, he was criticized in Belgium for the non-results, for that golden generation that was gone, for a lot of difficulties, Belgium, etc., etc., etc. But the biggest one, or the biggest thing that they were blaming him, was the management of the locker room, the relationship with a lot of players. Like, for example, the name of Courtois, that with Tedesco didn't come to the national team. So big problems. And if we know that one of the biggest things that people are blaming to Thiago Motta, on top of the non-game, on top of the non-result, about the elimination, etc., is probably the management of the locker room. So I think that there would be no more wrong choice than going for exactly the same problem that we actually have at home today, or what we are blaming could be the problem of today of Thiago Motta. Do I agree with all these voices, with all these things today? Look, did I give up on Thiago Motta after really pushing for him, after backing him? Probably yes, because I understand that the journey is over, especially if we are really understanding what Juve is not doing. It means not defending him on the papers, or not convincing us that he's the coach for the long term, whatever the result of today. So you know that Thiago Motta didn't convince me. That's a reality, unfortunately, because I had really big hopes for him. But on the other side, I think that Juventus is not doing really well. Look, you keep Thiago Motta after Atalanta. You keep Thiago Motta after Fiorentina. You confirm him. but it's not a convincing one. It's not a clear one. We know that the journey of Thiago Motta is already over, that on 25, 26, he will not be there. He will probably, with big chances, nearly done, he will also not be there for the Club World Cup with the club. So we know it's something that is already over, even if you continue confirm him. We have 2 weeks of international break where I know not a lot of players are there in La Continassa, but probably would have been 2 weeks extremely important if you really wanted to go with a new coach, to have at La Continassa to start implementing the ideas, the philosophy, to understand a bit the group, to work with a smaller group before having the other halls that is coming back to La Continassa. You don't do it. You don't do it, but you hear every single day, even if you confirmed it on the papers, names of coach Mancini, Conte, Pioli, Gasperini, Tudor. You have everyday new names. We heard about De Zerbi. We hear today about Tedesco. Genoa is the deadline. Genoa is the deadline. But what if he wins? What if he wins against Genoa? Will we just postpone it and we will say Roma is the deadline? And if he wins, he will be the next one? What is the deadline to have Thiago Motta? If I put myself in the shoes of Thiago Motta, it would be an extremely difficult situation, because he reads every day that the season is over, that his journey is over. He's not supported by the club, and we see it in the media. But he's obliged to go for the top four with a team that they know really well that is the end of the story of Thiago Motta. So it will be extremely difficult. I don't agree with the confusion that has been created. Look at today. A lot of people are still dreaming about today a big thing will happen. We are not sure. Nobody's sure about anything, which is really, really tough. Especially if we hear that Thiago Motta not only is confirmed to the next game, and confirmed to the next game, and confirmed to the next game. But on top of that, apparently they asked him to integrate again Dusan Vlahovic in the team, to play Yildiz a bit more central, to have a bigger dialogue and communication with the players. So they're asking him to change, to not be who he is. So I think it's totally wrong. If really we go towards that, probably it would have been much better to say after Fiorentina game, you go back at home, you speak about it on Monday, you say, we stop with Thiago Motta, and from now on we have no coach until further notice. What is further notice? You take 3-4 days. You wait maybe until today that John Elkann is there to say, okay, we go for that one. We are totally convinced for the remaining part of the season, or maybe we already go with a long-term project. But I think we need to make really something clear, because at the moment it's not really working. It's not beneficial, not for Thiago Motta. On the other side, people will say, Beppe, who cares about Thiago Motta? But I will tell you, for Juve, because like that, we don't have all the cards in hand to say, oh, you know what? We go with conviction, with full power to reach that top four that is extremely fundamental. Anyway, that was it for me. Maybe I come back if we have breaking news, which I'm not expecting. Grazie, forza, Juve. Ciao.